What is up, you guys? I'm back with another video for you today. I'm sorry if I'm still sounding weird. To be honest, I'm still not feeling 100%. I got sick on my trip to Ireland a couple of weeks ago, whatever, earlier on in January, and I'm still just not feeling great. It's been like over 2 weeks at this point that I've been feeling like shit, but hey, the show goes on. I got a good video for you guys today. Something that I'm really focusing on in the year of 2026 is like setting goals and holding myself accountable, right? I feel like when I just tell myself goals in my head, like it's a lot harder to achieve them versus when I actually write things down, hold myself accountable, create a game plan and actually stick to it. So that's what I'm trying to do this year. I'm trying to be better about it, especially when it comes to like my financial goals and things of that nature. So I want to give you guys a little bit of an update. We're about 1 month into 2026 at this point. It is the end of January. And I just want to let you guys know how things are going, just in regards to like my personal financial situation, my work situation, savings, investing, all that kind of stuff, even just like my personal life in general. So that's the purpose of this video today, just giving you guys an update 1 month into 2026. So without further ado, let's get right into this. First things first, what I want to talk about, probably the biggest change that I have coming up here is my girlfriend is moving in with me in February. Her lease is up in February, and it just makes sense. We basically spend every minute outside of work together. We basically live together now. So rather than paying for two rents when we spend all of our time together, it just makes sense to get one place. It's not like we're buying a house together or anything like that. I know, it's still relatively early in the relationship, but we're just on the same page with everything, especially when it comes to finances. And we agreed that it does make the most sense, especially for our situation. So we're doing it. And that's going to definitely drop my housing expense a lot. So I'm super, super excited about that. That's going to free up a lot of money to be, invested or saved or really used elsewhere. So I'm super pumped about that. In regards to like everything else, again, we're pretty much on the same page with all of our finances. Like we pretty much split just about everything. Like she'll buy groceries one week, I'll buy groceries the next week. We're going to be splitting rent, utilities, all that kind of stuff. It's just what we discussed and what we worked out. We're on the same page with it, and I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to live with her and have her move in with me next month. I'm excited for my bills to take a huge cut, and I'm excited for more money to be available to go ahead and save and invest. So, as I said, super pumped for that. Next thing, got a new position at work. If you watch my videos, I've had a lot of issues at my current company. I feel like they don't appreciate, their employees a lot, especially at my old position. Like they would just constantly put more shit on our plate and expect us to do more and more work while people are constantly quitting. The turnover was just ridiculous. They didn't pay us anymore. And it even got so bad that I found out the new hires in my department were actually making more than me briefly, like for a short period of time, but still nonetheless, like the principle of it, the fact that new hires are making more than people who have been there for 6 months or a year, it's fucking mind blowing. But with all that being said, I made another video about this, so I won't go too deep into it. But basically, I got back from my vacation earlier on this month, and my director had reached out to me and asked me to speak to him. So we hopped on a call, and he pretty much offered me another position within the company. I agreed to it. This is not the end all be all. I don't plan on being at this company forever, but this position allows me to kind of do what I'm best at. And it also allows me to avoid a lot of the bullshit that was happening at my previous position. All that with a slight pay bump. And then also, there's an opportunity for bonus. Not life changing money by any means, but, if I perform, which I don't see why I wouldn't, um, it can increase my monthly income by a decent amount. So I'm happy with that for now. Again, this is not forever, but it does buy me some time. It gives me takes a little bit of the weight off the shoulders of that other position because I really did hate it, and I was like borderline getting to the point where I was ready to just quit my job without another one lined up, which is not smart. Trust me, I know. But getting up and doing that job day in and day out, man, it really really sucked. I hated it. But that's not a problem anymore. I started a new position, pretty much in the position. There's a lot of similarities to the job in a sense to my previous position, but at the same time, it's really focused on, um, like different things in a way. Like there's similarities, but there's differences. That's really the best way I can explain it. And the the things that I am doing, I feel like were my strong suit in my other positions. So that's why I'm happy with it, I guess, for now. And again, I'm just dealing with a lot less of the bullshit that I was in my other position. So that's good. That's kind of where I'm at with work. With savings and investing, like where am I at? What's sort of the plan? What are my goals and everything? I've made other videos about this, but basically my goals are to invest hard into my Roth IRA and my brokerage. I'm pretty much all set on savings. I have a pretty beefy emergency fund. It's probably much larger than it needs to be. If I did quit my job today, I'd probably be all right for about 2 to 3 years if I had to guess. Living a pretty frugal lifestyle, but still, if I had to take care of my bills, especially now that I'm got my girl moving in with me and we're going to be splitting the bills, it probably is even more than that. So again, my emergency fund is probably larger than it needs to be, but it just makes me feel comfortable knowing that if I lost my job or I was really in a position where I hated my job so much that I just couldn't do it anymore, I'd be all right for a couple years. So that's fully funded. I'm really not planning on adding anything more to that. What I am doing, I'm maxing out my Roth IRA, adding to that every single month. In January, I actually put in 600. Um, so last year, the Roth IRA limit for an individual retirement account, the annual limit was 7,000. So it really breaks down to like $583 per month. I was just going to go ahead and do 600 per month, and that way in December I'd have only a little bit to contribute. So I put in 600 this month, and then I realized and found out that the Roth IRA limit was bumped up to 7,500 in 2026. So technically, you want to be putting $625 in per month if you want to max out the Roth by the end of the year. So all I'm going to do is in February, I'm going to put 650 in there. That'll even it out. And then from March on, I'll go ahead and put 625 in the account every month. And then by December, it'll be maxed out. And then once my girlfriend does move in with me, that's when a lot of money is going to be freed up. That's going to be happening in February. So I'm going to start aggressively investing into my brokerage account. Again, I really don't have any reason to put money into an emergency fund that's fully funded. So I'm going to start using that extra money and adding it towards my brokerage account. I have a decent sized brokerage account. It's not as big as my Roth. I started the Roth a while ago. I started the brokerage years after that. So at some point or another, hopefully as income increases, the brokerage may become a larger account than my Roth IRA, but for now the Roth is bigger. So I'm hoping to really beef up that brokerage account and get aggressive with investing into that. Aside from that, I have a couple small savings goals, I guess you can say. Something recently that I thought about is I have an older phone. I have the iPhone 12. It works fine. It's good. It gets the job done. It does seem like it's starting to get a little old. Like you can tell when your phone is just starting to get a little bit slower. And I mean, at the end of the day, I think we're up to like the 17 or the 18 or whatever it is at this point. So by the end of the year, I would have had the phone for like 5 or 6 years. So if I can get 5 or 6 years out of a phone, I'm happy with that. So I'm probably going to put some money aside every month to just save towards buying a new phone. And then at the end of the year, I'll probably just buy a new phone in cash. Like I said, if I get 5 or 6 years out of a phone, I'm happy with that. But other than that, nothing else really going on with savings and investing, and everything else is pretty much going according to plan, man. Like at the end of the day, I'm really happy and blessed to have a job where I can afford to invest and save money and fund sort of new ventures and take the time to invest in this YouTube channel. And I bought a bunch of equipment for this, not a bunch, I shouldn't say that, but I bought equipment for this channel. And I'm just lucky enough to have the opportunity to do all this. Everything's good with my girl and everything like that. So really nothing else to update you guys on. The only other major thing that's going to be coming up somewhat in the near future, I guess I should say, is in May. That's when my apartment lease is up. And then myself and my girl will probably end up do a little bit of apartment hunting and find another place. Just because when you move to a new place, you can often find like a good deal. They'll give you like a free month or two or anything like that. So going to definitely take advantage of that. But that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on my life, what's kind of going on. I know I make videos about a bunch of different things, personal stuff, work stuff, investing. So I figured I'd give you an update on all that. As always, I appreciate you guys checking in. If you're new here, I post every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and then on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I post all kinds of content about like personal finance, life experiences, really just anything I feel like talking about. I talk about it on here, throw it over some gameplay for you guys, and I hope you can learn from it or relate to it or whatever the case may be. So yeah, man, I appreciate you guys checking in as always. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.